right, 12:33. We move on to our next story, and we have some remnants that are quite important from our last story to bring into this one. Let me tell you what we're talking about. Kenny Kunene on special leave, placed there by the Patriotic Alliance on a 30-day special leave after he was found at a home of a man facing an internal investigation. That's now what is going to happen because he's denied all wrongdoing. And then they obviously have temporarily removed him from his duties as Johannesburg's MMC for transport. Now, this move has sparked political debate. It's raised a lot of questions, especially at this time, about leadership, about accountability, about transparency, even within the Patriotic Alliance. So we're joined now by Steve Mutale, who is the spokesperson for the Patriotic Alliance, to help us understand the party's position and how this decision was reached, and to also give us what the public can expect in the next few days. Steve, thank you for joining us.
Hey, thank you, and good afternoon to your listeners as well.
So why was this decision made to place Mr. Kunene on special leave? What is the message that the party is hoping to send out by doing so?
Look, I must state up front that we believe in Mr. Kunene's innocence.
You believe what?
In his innocence, right? But what prompted the president's decision is we are taking public office very, very seriously. Allegations of proximity to the underworld don't augur well for Mr. Kunene himself and the Patriotic Alliance. So, although we believe in his innocence, and we know and we believe in his story, but the president took the decision that Mr. Kunene must take a 30-day leave of absence while a credible structure of investigators is set up, is put together to investigate these allegations.
You're talking about President Gayton McKenzie of the PA.
Gayton McKenzie,
okay.
PA president.
All right. So that's very interesting because they are best friends and we've seen them in a very specific way before the Patriotic Alliance, but here the decision has been made. What, though, does it tell us about Ndati Kunene being found at this home of the suspected mastermind behind the murder?
Look, he explained himself. I think he was also on your station, if I'm not mistaken.
I don't know.
He explained himself in the first place why he was there. And we believe his story. And he informed the president before he went there. And in minutes after what transpired there, he again called the president to tell him what transpired. So he explained himself that he doesn't have any association with the suspect.
Yes.
But because he's a media owner, and this publication that he owns was dying, it has been not operational. So he saw the opportunity to go for an exclusive story, which is to give this guy his side of the story. I mean, journalism is all about two sides of the story, which is what most of the media neglects. It's allegations. And in most instances, people who are having allegations against them, they are not given their side of the story. So he saw it as an opportunity to revive this online platform with an exclusive story.
So what was his online platform again? Remind us.
It's Africa News Global.
Okay, and it hires nobody? He's the only person who works there?
Yeah, I am the founding editor of that publication as well.
I see.
So I've written a lot of stories for that publication.
All right, I see. And so in the case of a story that needs to be reported, are you saying there were no reporters who could have taken this story or gone to this house?
Look, it is Africa News Global is a very, very tiny operation. We don't have a big newsroom. It's two youngsters that are running it, and they are all-rounders. They go to the stories, they write stories, they edit their own stories, they proofread.
Hence,
And
I asked the
above
question. They could have gone
yeah,
there, they could have edited, they could have proofread, they could have done the whole story.
all of that, yes. But then the problem is the cops took both Mr. Kunene's cell phones and the youngster's cell phones, right? So, and they went through the cell phones and they found nothing linking Mr. Kunene to the suspect. That is why they let him go.
All right, so the issue here is just that he was in the wrong place
At the wrong time.
for something that he believes would revive his publication.
Exactly.
Okay, all right. So then this move was made. And I wonder then what that tells us, even as we go into the next elections and further, about how the PA will work.
Well, listen, we believe and we are hopeful that the investigation body will clear Mr. Kunene. Because the problem now is, as you might have seen on social media, people have already found him guilty because of his past. Because of his past, it's easy to link him to what is going on in the country now, which is not the case. I mean, Mr. Kunene, when he went out of prison, he has been in public on numerous occasions. He has undertaken an oath that he will never go back to crime. And we believe in him. We believe in it. And we believe that the investigation will clear him. And he will resume his normal life.
Let's talk a little bit about how this 30-day leave process will look. What kind of internal review or steps does the PA take in a state like this?
First of all, he has been relieved of his duties as the MMC in the city of Joburg. For 30 days, he has been relieved of his duties as a councillor in the city of Joburg.
With no pay or still with pay?
Well, of course, he's innocent until proven otherwise.
Okay, so still paid.
That is for his employer to decide with the city of Joburg, right? And then he has also been advised to step aside from his role in whatever party activities there might have been for the next 30 days.
And so what happens?
As a party, we will take advice from what comes out of this investigation.
Yeah.
In an unlikely event that there are damning findings against him. Of course, Mr. President announced that there are no VIPs in the PA. We'll follow the right processes.
How do you separate? I've mentioned it before, but I mean, we do know their personal relationship with one another from a very long time ago, seeming very genuine, and also seeming very brotherly, you know? So how do they both separate that relationship with now one is president and you know, one is serving under that in the PA?
It has been working well so far. It has been miraculously working so well. If you had a listen at what President Gayton McKenzie said last night when he made this announcement, he said this is the most difficult decision he had ever had to take in his life. Considering exactly what you are mentioning, that these are the best of friends. Both of them are godfathers to each other's children. So it was a difficult moment, and to all of us, it was a very, very difficult moment. Nobody expected this, but it was a test of character for Mr. Mackenzie's leadership, and I think he came out tops.
You're talking about President Gayton McKenzie came out tops. All right.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I'm hearing you. So our previous conversation that we had here on Power Lunch was about the Joburg CBD crackdown on illegitimate operations or legitimate operations, demanding actions for some of the bus ranks. And a very concerned citizen, the chairperson of the Africa Unite Borders Bus Trucks Association, and I know I'm pushing to a completely different story, him knowing that you're going to be on next, I said, what are his two questions for your party. And he asked, first of all, why push the gender agenda for Mabahambe when it was election time? He doesn't quite feel that you've pulled through with that or gone through with that over this time that you've been working in Parliament. What would you say to that?
No. We, our stance on illegal immigration, it is what resonated with the electorate in this country. Right? We will never abandon that stance. We are still pushing for it. Gayton McKenzie, wherever he gets a platform, a political platform, not a platform in his role as a minister, but a political in his party activities.
Yes.
We still emphasize, if you might have monitored our party activities on the grassroots, our people have been to hospitals to ask to see for themselves what are the numbers of illegal foreigners versus the numbers of the South Africans. And our people are everywhere. Just that the gentleman you are referring to hasn't followed our activities on the ground. But we will never abandon that up until we are in government. We are still pushing for action to be taken again on our porous borders and the mass deportation of illegal immigrants, regardless of where they come from.
Another question he asked, it was almost a statement, a command for going forward, all government officials, workers, councillors should be screened for a political record. Did I say political? Criminal record, and as a result be hired or fired for that. What do you make of that?
There's a difference being a public representative and being a bureaucrat, right? Remember, being a bureaucrat, you go there on merit and on qualifications, right? And that is the government to determine the conditions, right? But then political office is something different altogether. You are put there by the electorate. So we have to separate the two.
All right. In your view, I do understand why you would say such a thing, because he was coming from a point of view, and I imagine many will be coming from a point of view, that if you come from a background where your associates and friends are those who, would break the law in certain ways, and you get into a position of leadership, I mean, your friendship doesn't end. So you'll be around people like that in forthcoming days. And that's a problem for South Africa.
I don't believe in that. I mean, you have two living examples, Mr. Kunene and Mr. Mackenzie. Two people who rehabilitated themselves. You can't give credit to our correctional services, right? These are two people who are examples of self-rehabilitation and who turned their back completely to their past and embarked on a new life.
And yet, here we are discussing a 30-day special leave for being at a home of someone facing criminal charges.
That doesn't make Mr. Kunene guilty. That doesn't make him guilty. And I can tell you, before the investigation comes out, that he will be cleared. I can put my head on the block for that. I can definitely tell you, I believe in him. Mr. Mackenzie said it last night that we believe in him. What is going on social media, we understand definitely the anger of South Africans on crime, right? There's that perception that criminals have taken over the country. I mean, we understand the anger, right? And as you yourself have said, Mr. Kunene was unfortunate to be found at the wrong place at the wrong time, right? I can tell you right now, he abhors crime. He knows how crime nearly ruined his life, and he embraces the second chance that God has given him. We will never ruin it.
Well, those were the questions. Let's have a listen to some voice notes that have come through for you.
Sure.
Good afternoon, Papi. Lebohang here. This guy must not insult our intelligence. he must not insult our intelligence. He's lying. He's a liar, like Kunene and Mackenzie. Malema warned us of this Mapantiti, and we thought he was just being jealous with Patriotic Party, particularly Kunene and Mackenzie. This guy must not lie to us. We are not fools. He can lie to our grandfathers or our great-grandfathers, like the way ANC used to lie to them. He must stop insulting our intelligence. Lebohang here in Pretoria. Bye.
Thank you, Lebohang in Pretoria. He's outrightly, Steve, called you a liar. He's referenced a story by another political party head who said what he said, which is derogatory to people who have come out of correctional services. But he said it, and people feel warned. The warning happened, and now we're seeing the results.
Yeah, definitely. I'm not going to dignify the name calling from this listener with a comment. He's mentioning a political figure. You know the relationship between the political figure that year and Mr. Kunene. So his comment is not based on logic. It's based on political affiliation. So I'm not going to dignify his comment with a response.
You're not going to dignify what many people may have also felt.
This particular listener who say their intelligence is being insulted. Why can't they wait for an investigation, an independent investigation to come out? Why do you want to find a person guilty? Why don't you afford them the opportunity to state their side of the story and then make conclusions?
Do you think we're not a country of second chances? Or do we take so many second chances sometimes we get hit with exactly the same things over and over again?
You see, we have to be careful here. The fact that Mr. Kunene is a reformed convict doesn't make him a criminal now. And this is, as you are saying, to a large extent, we are not a country of second chances.
Mm-hmm.
Right? We condemn people. We want to see people condemned to death. Right?
Mm-hmm.
So the second chance that you are talking about, I think the two gentlemen are a living example of how to change your life. Gayton Mackenzie is doing so well in his role as Minister of Sport. Kenny, you have been on your radio station several times talking about his programs as an MMC of the city of Joburg. I mean, he's doing so well, right? So I think we definitely are not a country of second chances. And of course, understandably, taking into consideration the unacceptable high levels of crime.
But you're saying two kind of opposing things. You're saying we're not a country of second chances, and yet these two gentlemen are having a second chance, and in your view, they're doing so well with it.
Exactly, they are. That is why I'm saying Mr. Kunene was so unfortunate that he was caught up at the wrong place at the wrong time. And let's give these investigations a chance before we jump into conclusions and finding him guilty.
So we're a country of second chances, and we're also a country of no second chances.
We are, to a large extent, and I can understand. Really, I can understand. People are hurtful with crime. I really can understand.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Not to a certain extent, I understand.
Not what?
I'm saying to a certain extent, I understand why people are so hurtful with crime. Crime levels in this country have reached unacceptable levels.
Here's Mo, who's in Centurion. How's it, Mo?
Hi, how are you?
All right, thank you.
Good. Yeah, he's right. We are hurtful. I'm one of those who are hurtful of crime. He's using Kenny, that is a self-rehabilitated person. What guarantee does he have that he won't relapse back to criminal activities? I mean, it's like you're taking a lion that was injured and self-medicate itself and think after that it's not going to attack. You understand? So Kenny, and a criminal will remain a criminal for us South Africans until he is proven that he's not guilty. So we don't trust him. We will allow the process to take its place, but we don't trust him. He's a criminal. End of story. They must investigate the deal of Rea Vaya. They will see something there. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Mo. Steve, your view on that? He's a lion. He's a criminal. He's used to eating that kind of meat. Now, how can you rehabilitate that?
Yeah, I think that's too harsh to label him a criminal. I mean, Mr. Kunene.
Hang on, it's too harsh to label him a criminal.
Currently.
Okay, so what would we name him?
I think it's unfair. Mr. Kunene committed crimes against the people of this country. He paid his dues. He went to prison, and he came out.
So he's rehabilitated.
He's rehabilitated.
Okay, all right.
He made a commitment that he will never go to crime.
And this fear that South African has that you can't be rehabilitated.
No, there are instances where people get rehabilitated, and I've said the two gentlemen are a living example of that.
Let's have a listen to another voice note.
Something must really be wrong with you as a person when you hear Gayton McKenzie saying, this is the difficult decision I've ever had to make in my life, to suspend Kenny. Something must be wrong with you. Clearly, you don't know the relationship between these gangsters. Like Kenny and McKenzie, those are top brothers. Like, probably we can't hack their phones. Probably they are sitting there thinking of how they're gonna play with us. Like, come on, man. Who believes Gayton or Kenny? Yeah, I saw
Steve.
Yeah, listen, I can understand. You know, some of the judge, the comments on these people, some of them are based on genuinely what has transpired, but some of them really are just haters. Right?
They're just haters now.
Yeah, some of them, a few of them are just haters, but some of them really are motivated by their hatred for crime, which is understandable. But like I said, let's give the investigation process a chance. And then let's comment.
But hang on. Yes, listen. Absolutely. People are tired of crime. But if we're being led by somebody, and we've seen this now with allegations in the police as well, if we're being led by somebody who allegedly is also involved in crime, do you think that is haters from South Africa? Or do you think we feel so unsafe that we don't even know who we can trust? Come on.
Let's get this thing right. Let's get our facts right. Kenny Kunene was not arrested with an alleged killer. Let's get that out. Kenny Kunene is not a suspect of a criminal investigation. Let's understand that. Right?
But he's suspected of being with people who are.
No. He's not charged. Kenny Kunene is not facing any criminal.
I see what you're doing to me now. Now you're going to play the technical, diplomatic approach that we can't use this word or not that word.
Why label him a criminal before any finding is announced? Why label him a criminal? Why label him a criminal?
Because he does have this past.
No. Why do we label him? He's a reformed criminal, and he has said it on many. And it's him who went all over telling people about his past.
You know, personally, I have no issue with either of these people. All I'm asking is, do you have an understanding of what South Africans are feeling and seeing?
I do.
And what then do you tell us? Let's listen to this quickly. Let me listen to wait, let me read you these podcasts. These Twitter posts, whatever they're called. This gentleman says we must not jump to conclusion and find Kenny guilty before the commission, but he's already jumped to conclusion to declare him innocent of the commission before it's even started. You told us you'd lay your head for it.
I mean, the president, when he announced yesterday his decision to relieve Mr. Kunene of his duties, he said we believe in his innocence because we know the guy and we know what transpired, right? That is why the cops could not even take him in for questioning. They confiscated his phones on the scene. They went through his phones and they were happy and they let him go.
Another one says, he says, look, like we're friends or something. He needs to have another way of. Okay, that's really unnecessary. This guy talking about Guinea. Hi Shem. Hi. These people think we're stupid, right? And with what the spokesperson is saying, it didn't sound like what Gayton was briefed before Kenny went. So there are lots of questions, and there are going to be even more questions because this is the first time the Patriotic Alliance has been in government and also existed and also had issues like this and also because of the past. So I don't know if you understand how we are on 10. We're on level 10, watching, waiting, hoping. Do we have a last voice note? Let's play that last voice note and then we're going to go to the news.
Afternoon, Pabi.
Hey,
Lazarus Mohamed Skralo, power up. Yeah, Kunene, Gayton McKenzie, they think we are stupid. They are ex-convicts. They were gangsters and they are still gangsters. How can ba create go mutsing wa motho wa bulaya batho o chomia and then wena o tlo botsa ditori? So there was something and they have done many things together because of Kenny. If you remember, he was owning a nightclub Za.
Yep.
And then DJ somebody was a nightclub owner. So he was killed. So we must try to link up all these things. Maybe we can get something. But Yaore is suspended by his own friend is wrong. He must be dealt with by the police. Afternoon, power.
And I think that is part of the commission that will start taking place. So we'll find out all of those answers and we'll be able to put the dots together. I think what Steve is saying, let's not find him guilty before he is actually guilty. But I also hear a lot of what you are saying as South Africans, that, you know, it's so difficult to come back and say you're rehabilitated and then be in a leadership position and then find yourself in this kind of position. Obviously, a lot of assumptions are going to be made. But Steve, I wish you the best. Thank you very much for your time this afternoon.